Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason, and man, eggs are expensive, right? Eggs are really expensive, and it's got a lot of people thinking about raising their own chickens. And by the way, you should raise your own chickens. Everybody in America needs 6 chickens. I love it. It's wonderful. Who would not love coming up and seeing this? Every single time you come out, right? Hey there. And they're just waiting. They see you coming and they love you because you are food, your attention, your protection, and they love that. Especially if you raise them yourself, like from babies. There's no mother hen involved. You become mama hen. Hey children. Hey there. Hey Lily. Hey Madeline. Hey Tootie. That's a whole lot of joy just in itself. But it's got, obviously the price of eggs has got people wanting to, or looking into, how about that? Looking into and thinking about raising chickens for themselves. And to that, I do want to kind of speak to some of the things about the reality of raising chickens, the reality of having backyard chickens, because there's some stuff there that maybe you're not thinking about if you are looking at raising your own chickens. Yes, we do get eggs. Right now, this time of year, we get 1, maybe 2 eggs every other day. Yesterday we got 2 eggs. First day we got 2 eggs in quite a while. Because it's the time of year. That's the first thing I'll tell you is that when you buy chickens, when you have chickens, they don't lay every day all year long. Okay? Some chickens may lay more than others. They're going to. Okay? And in their first year of laying eggs, they will lay into the winter time and through the winter. But that's because they're young, they haven't molted yet. When they hit their first molt, which is essentially like if you buy chickens in February, okay, you're not going to get eggs until sometime in August or later. A lot of times, maybe later. But it's at least 6 months, okay, typically. So you're going to have 6 months of raising a chicken, right? And it's investment, by the way. Okay, if you're looking at money-wise, there's an investment into that, time and money. And so you're not getting eggs for 6 months. But in August, like if you had 6 chickens, right? If you bought 6 hens, and 6 hens start laying in August to September, then you're going to be getting 5 to 6 eggs per chicken per week. So you're looking at possibly 36 eggs a week, 3 dozen eggs times 4, that's 12 dozen eggs a month. And you're going to get that for from like the time they start laying, which is going to be different for all of them, but from the time they're all laying until the next August or so, right? So for 10 to 12 months, you're getting eggs solidly. Okay, that's a fact. But then they're going to molt, and then they're not going to lay eggs, and then there's going to be less light because a full-grown hen, a mature hen, needs more light to consistently lay eggs. Sunlight, because you have less light in the wintertime, right? So be aware of that you will get a lot of eggs in the first year that they're laying, and after that you'll still get some good eggs, but there will be a gap in that. Okay, you're not going to get eggs all winter long. Some will lay more eggs in the winter than others. Some won't lay at all. One of our favorite hens, if not our favorite hen, she lays 6 months out of the year and that's it. She's not going to lay anymore no matter what you do. She's just not. And she's also 8 years old, almost 8 years old at this point, so she's earned that right. And if you're just looking at it from the budget standpoint, okay, I want to speak to that just for a minute because it is important. Finances are very important to people. A bag of feed is about 50 pounds, plain feed. Okay, we use organic feed, so it's a different story altogether. But if you're looking at just the basics, solid, good feed that you're going to go to Tractor Supply and buy, okay, readily available for you. It's going to be a 50-pound bag, typically. That 50-pound bag, if you had 6 hens, will probably last you around a month. An average hen will eat between a 1/4 pound to a 1/3 pound of food per day. All right, so if you had 6 hens, you'd start doing the math. Okay, well, how much is that going to take, right? So honestly, a bag of feed is going to cost you about $20 to $25. And I've done the math for you. I'm just going to tell you the results of it. You're going to have about 25 days or more, depending on how much of them eating that one 50-pound bag of food. So you could get up to 12 dozen eggs a month out of these six birds for $25. That's obviously a lot less than eggs are costing these days. Right? I mean, heck, last spring and summer, I was selling give you a little piece of information, our organic eggs for $5 a dozen. And I didn't have a whole lot of takers because $5 for a dozen eggs. Hey, look, it's organic. They get out on grass. They get extra food. I mean, it's a better egg. I promise you, it's a better egg than what you're getting anywhere else. So $5 to me, is not a steep price for those eggs. So I had a few takers, and that was plenty. That's, by the way, I was just providing some eggs, moving some eggs, helping pay for the feed. Now, I've had people coming to me looking for those eggs because that's about what you're paying in the store, right? And I don't have them to sell, by the way. So it's interesting because now basic eggs, like Eggland's Best, is going to cost you over $5 for the basic white egg, which is not near as good as your backyard eggs are going to be. So in that manner, you are saving money at that point, okay? At that point, you are certainly saving money. You're paying half price for those eggs once they're laying age. If you raise them from babies, which I, by the way, recommend, it's a joy that you can't imagine. It's wonderful. They have a better relationship with you if you do so. But it is 6 months of effort, time, money. It's equipment to buy. You know, when I say equipment, I mean like a brooder heater, a brooder setup in general, feeders, waterers, and all that. It's an investment, but it's worth it to me. Okay, there's so much joy in that, and having that relationship. But I will tell you, they're not like a cat or a dog. They need more attention in some ways and less attention in some ways. Also, another piece of information that people don't really think about is, and doesn't make sense, by the way, I don't agree with it, but it's just truth because we live it. Your homeowner's insurance will not like you having chickens, okay? I did not know that. I did not realize that our insurance was changing somehow or another, and I was talking to a representative on the phone, and I said something about our chickens. He goes, wait, you have chickens? I said, yeah, what's the problem? It changed. There are homeowners insurance companies who will not insure you if you have backyard chickens. So be aware, by the way, either don't mention it or be prepared to have some differences in your insurance policies because some of them don't like it. So again, yes, eggs are expensive, and you will actually save some money at the time of laying age if you have chickens for yourself, right? But getting to that point may be too much for some people, and I understand that, but I want everybody to realize that, first of all, it's worth it. Second of all, it is an investment, but then you're not going to have eggs all the time once they're, you know, a year and a half old, essentially, right? But also there's another way around it. Like if you just want eggs, you know, I want to raise my own chickens, I want to have chickens, but I don't really care about raising them. How about that? You want chickens, but you don't really care about raising them from babies, and you don't want to have that 6-month investment. Just skip all that. I get it. There's a such thing as buying started pullets, is what they're going to call started pullets. Pullets, pullet. That is a term for an immature hen, essentially. A female chicken, a hen, who is not old enough to lay eggs or who is not molted yet necessarily. Typically under a year old, they'll call it a pullet, or maybe even before the first molt, which is about a year and a half. But you can buy started pullets. Not this time of year. Like this is what, January 13th, so you can't really find them this time of year. But you know, come about April, you'll probably be able to start finding started pullets, okay, at a certain age, whether it be 12 weeks to 16 weeks, whatever. And you'll have to pay a little more for those this year, maybe a lot more, because it's going to be a premium this year, I promise you. But it is a way to skip that. And then by the time, so if you buy one that's 12 weeks old, and by the time she's 22 weeks old, you start getting into that zone of maybe she's going to start laying. It can go, by the way, it can go even from 20 weeks to 32 weeks to 36 weeks before they start laying eggs. Depends on the chicken. Every chicken's different, which is another thing you need to realize, is that chickens are different. They have their own individual personalities. They are alive, you know. They're not just a robot. So they all act different. That things stress them out. That may not stress other chickens out. They react differently to different weather, different noises. You so different things, they are different from each other. Even in the same breed, breeds will have their own tendencies, but within the same breed, they will have differences between each chicken. And you'll notice that, and you'll get to see that if you build that kind of relationship with your chicken. But that's something to realize again, is that they are different. They do have their own personalities, and that's joy, by the way, for Angela and I. That's a great joy, is to have these chickens with their own personalities and build that relationship with them to where they trust you. You know what they're going to do. They have their own tendencies, and yet they still trust you because they know you. And we've got chickens in there who don't know a day without us. They've been alive for almost 6 years and they've never had a day without us. They might freak out if they didn't see us for a couple of days. That's really what I wanted to cover with you today, though, is that eggs are expensive. Chickens can be too, by the way. But you will save some money, and even then, like right now, you will, because the eggs are so expensive. And you can cut that cost too with growing food for them, letting them forage, and things of that nature. There's a way of cutting costs. And if you want to go organic, double that price for your feed almost. It's organic feeds, typically a 40-pound bag. You can't get them 50-pound bags. We get ours in a 50-pound bag. We use New Country organic feeds. It's more expensive. It's the best feed you're going to find. But if you don't want to go into that, hey, don't worry about it. A good layer feed from Tractor Supply will be just fine for your chickens, and if you're looking to save money, that's where you're going to want to go. You will get great eggs from your chickens. That is cheaper than the store. Literally half the cost right now, but it will take time if you raise them from babies. Okay, so be aware of that. Just if you don't get them if you're not willing to invest that time and effort and energy. But I recommend getting them because they're just stinking awesome. So thank y'all for watching. We do appreciate it. My name's Jason. This is Art Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.